Does I have to get shots?
That stinks.
Why do we have to get shots anyway?
I always thought it was because our moms made us.
That can't be it.
Well, go look it up.
Be able to bring those to bridge the gap with those diseases.
What are some of the main diseases you immunize for now?
Right now, because I haven't really started my immunization program, I'm not immunizing, but I'm encouraging my patients to go, for example, to the health department and make sure that they keep up with their immunization schedules, because there are specific schedules that have to be followed. And since I've not started yet, I want to make sure that by the time I start, we are just following through and not just catching up.
And for someone who may be curious for more information about your immunization program, what should they do?
They can call my office at 745-7632.
Okay, and we'll have that number for the audience again at the end, but we do need to take a quick break. Don't go away. The Fox Files will be right back. Thanks, Jeff, and welcome back to the Fox Files. I'm Adam Hammond, and joining us this evening is Dr. Sarah Matovu with Middle Georgia Immediate Care. She is here to discuss immunizations. And we have a caller on the line, Dr. Matovu. We're going to go ahead and take Brandon's call. Brandon, what's your question this evening? Brandon, yes.
Hello?
What's your question?
My question is there actual law that states that children must have certain immunizations before entering school?
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon would like to know if there's a law that requires all students to have immunizations before they go to school.
Well, it's advisable that the children have their immunization before they go to school, but sometimes the parent is given the option to decline.
It's react to our lives. And I remember people talking about hormone replacement. It's going to save women's lives. You got to take it. Yet every nurse I talked to said, go to the bank, it causes cancer. Every relative that got cancer said they got it because of the hormone replacement. I'm hearing the same kinds of stories on vaccination. I must have had 50 different parents write me or come to me and say I had a healthy child, yet then they had 10, 9, 6 vaccinations at one time, and that child changed overnight and was knocking their head on the wall, and it was a changed child. In fact, I had a family in my office today where the mother broke down crying, saying my child was wonderful, bright, precocious, talking. She took those vaccinations, and the child became very incredibly sick and has never recovered. So I'm interested in any studies on vaccinations and trying to understand that. Now, it used to be that you go and get a vaccination. My child never got more than 3 at a time. And in the state of New York, children are recommended to get 6 shots every 2 months throughout the first year of a child. And my question is, why does the schedule of these vaccinations require a child to receive so many shots in such a short period of time? You could plan those shots over a period of time. I'm for vaccinations. They prevent disease. I'm totally for it. But why do you have to have cram 9, 6 at one time when the verbal evidence seems so strong from so many people that they had a healthy child until they got vaccinated? And you've got to just listen. I remember smoking. I was on the city council. I sat through so many hearings where they vowed smoking was not bad for your health. It's a common sense that it was bad for your health. Then finally, the Surgeon General said it was bad for your health. And the same thing seemed to be here with the vaccinations. There's too much verbal evidence coming from parents where they break down. I had a normal child. I gave them a vaccination, and then they came down with autism. So it seems to me we should. I'd start spacing it out. Why do we have to have 9 vaccinations, 6 vaccinations every 2 months? Why can't we do it over 2 or 3 years and space it and wait for the scientific evidence or whatever?
Gentleman's time has expired.
I tried explaining all this to my mom. She's still making me go get shots.
That he has not received any immunizations, and that was a choice that my husband and I had made. And from there, things went kind of downhill. Of course, she tried to talk me into the vaccinations. She told me about how, these different outbreaks have occurred, and went on and on and on. And I, again, just like took my stand and just said, this is just the decision that we've made. And I said, I've done a lot of research on this. If there's any kind of new findings or new research out there that I should look into, I'm willing to take a look into new research. I research all the time. So, I felt like I was being pretty open. We finished up the appointment. I mean, seemed like we were having pretty good conversation. She told me about how she had gone to Africa on medical missions trips, and I'd been to Africa before too. So, I thought things were okay, and I left the office, and I had refused to sign the APA. It's like a disclosure statement or something of that nature, saying that, I understand that not giving my child vaccinations could put them at harm for fatal disease or something of that nature.
Yeah, it's basically saying you agree you're a witch and should be burned at the stake. I mean, they're getting you to say, I'm a bad parent, I'm endangering my child, when the statistics are out there. The vaccines overall are more dangerous than all these supposed diseases out there, and they know that. They won't tell people what's on those inserts. It's kind of like TSA telling their own employees, oh, there's no radiation from these scanners, and then they get caught lying. I mean, it's all part of this American Medical Association propaganda. So when you sign that, they then use that to try to sick the CPS on you by you agreeing that you're a bad parent.
Yeah, so I had done my research about that, and I knew that I didn't want to sign that, so I told her that I wasn't going to sign it. Again, I left the office, thought everything was okay, went back to work, went to my sister's house for the weekend, and when I got home on Sunday evening, I had 2 notes on my door from a state trooper asking that I call her immediately. So I tried to call. Of course, she wasn't on duty.